Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the virtual press con of DIGICON 2021, presented by the Internet and Mobile Marketing Association of the Philippines. My name is Misha Licaros, and I'll be your host for this evening. You may know me from Digipod, the official Immap podcast, now streaming on Spotify. Before we begin, I'd like to remind everyone that we will be having a question and answer session immediately after our main speakers have finished their presentations. You can submit your questions at any time during the show for our team to curate. Please don't forget to include your name and the organization you're part of so we can address you properly. And with that, it's time to start the press con. Good evening and welcome. My name is Misha once again. I'll be your host through this exclusive preview of what you can expect from DIGICON 2021. In an age of rapid technological advancement, digital has affected the way we live, work, and play. With so much having already been disrupted over the last decade, it came as no surprise that in a year of global lockdowns, digital adoption accelerated faster than ever. This year's DIGICON will focus on how that transformation is now taking effect in all walks of life, from global corporations to small, medium, and micro enterprises. Everybody has become part of this community. To give you a preview of what to expect in the next hour, check this out. I hope all of you are just as excited as I am for this year's most anticipated digital conference. But to give us a more detailed background of this year's theme, I'd like to introduce the board president of Immap, as well as the chair emeritus and product officer of Mullen Low Traina, Ms. Lei Reyes. Good evening, Lei.
Thank you for the introduction, Misha. Just like everybody else around the world, we have seen our activities accelerate as businesses pivoted towards digital to survive and thrive in challenging times. In fact, according to a December 2020 article published by Microsoft, over 8 in 10 of organizations in the Philippines are speeding up digitalization to adapt to the new reality. From launching digital products and introducing digital payments to embracing e-commerce and automation. I'm certain many of us in the audience were part of this and continue to be part of it. From village Viber groups to live selling, from learning how to navigate by QR code to Zoom Inuman and Zumba, digital made a full shift to the mainstream. In fact, digital is the new masa. And we are in the epicenter of it in Asia, where the scaling up of digital adoption has been nothing short of phenomenal. Many of you were with us for DIGICON XE, where we talked about the experience economy. And thank you for being with us for DIGICON Leap, where we helped practitioners make the big leap to digital. And last year's theme, DIGICON Omni, seemed quite prescient because of our sudden reality. This year, we at Immap are proud to introduce the theme for 2021, Immap DIGICON Pop. Our nickname for it is T-Pop. Join myself, Henry, Herbert, Dennis, and Crane as we introduce you even more to this T-Pop concept, which is all about our digitally accelerated era. Thank you, and back to Misha for the rest of the program.
Thanks for that, Lei. And also thank you for introducing that nugget of wisdom. Digital really has become the new masa. And I look forward to seeing how that will play out at this year's D-Pop. Okay, every year DIGICON explores different aspects of its theme to fully share the innovations and trends of the industry with everyone who attends. 2021 will be no different. From October 11th to the 15th, we're set to go on a deep dive into the various tracks. But to tell us more about these tracks, please give a virtual round of applause for one of Immap's board members, the founder and executive chairman of DIGICON.ph, Mr. Henry Mott Munoz.
Thanks a lot, Misha, and very excited to share with everyone today our program framework. As you know, we spend a lot of time figuring out the right kind of topics, the right kind of speakers to make sure that our audience has an action-packed and very exciting and insightful conference. So with that, let us present to you our DEEP framework, which stands for 4 verticals. The first one is around disruption. Learn from innovators who change the game in their respective fields. This is in breakout industries like healthcare, fintech, and edtech. This is about brand experience innovators. It's also about digital excellence from folks in FMCG, in retail, even in the public sector. And it's about successful pivot stories, which we know that many of us had to go through in the last 12 months. You will hear from folks such as Michael Patent, the managing director of the Culture Group, Todd Schweitzer, the CEO of Brancas, and Greg Krasnov, the CEO of Tonic. The second vertical is around expansion. Here, unlock new growth areas and opportunities brought about by digital. The theme really is from novelty to necessity. It's about becoming a digital-first business. It's also about building a digital workforce, which frankly is incredibly relevant in today's ever-changing lockdown landscape. And finally, it's about using data to uncover your next business opportunity. Here, you will hear from folks such as Nicholas Kontopoulos, the head of growth for APAC at Adobe, Bea Tienza from Colgate-Palmolive, or Isabel Yap from East West Bank. Our third leg is called Emerging. Here, discover the emerging trends and tools in digital that will be a part of your toolkit. Whether it's about ad tech or marketing tech updates, it's about new media platforms which are turning mainstream and which you should be a part of. It's about innovations in e-commerce, whether that's shoppertainment, logistics, payment options. Here, you will hear from Ash Mandian, the CEO of Quanta Digital, Carlos Alimorng, the CEO of One Esports, and Philip Nee from TikTok. Last but not least, it's about possibilities. Obviously, in all these challenging times we live in, there's disruption, you have to pivot, but there's also massive new possibilities that are being unlocked. And this vertical is about understanding these new potential markets and uncovering these underserved needs, reaching new digital markets, whether that's Gen Z or boomers, collaborating with startups to accelerate your growth, or deep innovation strategies. The possibilities are endless. Hear from Bujet Tan, the co-creator of Tresse, Grace David, the CEO of DIGICON.ph, or Ron Baetiong, the founder and CEO of Podcart Network Asia. This is a very exciting lineup, and we can't wait for you to be part of it. Over to you, Misha.
Thanks for that, Henry. That really does sound very exciting. Again, for everybody who's watching, please submit your questions in the comments. Don't forget to leave your name and your organization so we know how to address you later during the Q&A. Moving on, one of DIGICON's goals is to create impactful avenues for inspiration, creativity, and capability building for the future digital talents of this industry. And we channeled that into this year's DPOP Youth, which will launch the next generation of digital natives to create positive impacts in the community, our country, and hopefully the world. To explain to everyone what the components are of this year's DPOP Youth, please welcome Immap board member and founding partner of Gigil, the Ideas Company, Mr. Herbert Hernandez.
Hello guys! Nakaka-excite. Sobrang excited ako rito sa DPOP Youth, no? Alam niyo naman, lahat naman tayo naging estudyante. And during our time, walang ganito, no? So sana ma-maximize ng mga estudyante sa tulong natin para paano to i-hype. So DPOP Youth na to mangyayari sa October 13, 2021, presented by Unilab. Ito ay one-day workshop and student competition happening during DIGICON. So ika-third day siya, guys. 5 days yung DIGICON pero ika-third day mangyayari tong DPOP Youth. The event will serve as a venue for university students to learn, socialize, and showcase their talents in the digital industry. Marami kaming ni-invite dito mga key industry leaders to speak on strategy development, creative strategy, and media orchestration. Actually, sobrang na-excite ako for them. Meron pa kaming in-invite na isa sa keynote speaker sa DIGICON na ma-access ng mga estudyante. Hindi ko lang pa pwedeng i-announce ngayon, pero mamaya ipapakita nila sino tong bigatin na to na sobrang sikat sa mga youth. We will also have a panel discussion with various players of the industry to give an insight naman sa mga ano bang kaharapin nila pag graduate ng mga estudyante and pumunta sila sa digital industry. Ano yung mamimit nila? So, napaka-excited. Actually, sobrang ako excited dito. Like really equipping our future digital marketers with the right skill sets and mindset para sa future. So, yun. Sana matulungan nyo kami para ma-hype yung mga estudyante and ma-maximize itong event na to. Maraming salamat ulit sa Unilab. And syempre, kung gusto niyo magkaroon ng more information at ma-update kayo, pwede niyong kunin tong QR code, ma-access niyo, pwede kayo para masama kayo sa mailing list namin. So yun, salamat sa lahat ng umattend dito, and back to you, Misha.
Thank you. Someone once said that good habits formed at youth make all the difference. And one place that next generation can pick up those habits will be at Depop Youth. Moving on, when you're talking about the best, you are bound to gain recognition, and winning awards just seals the deal. Introducing the return of the most awaited Digital Creatives Award show in the country. Please give it up for the Internal Vice President of Immap, the Media Director for Unilever Philippines, and my co-host for the first 3 episodes of Digipod, Mr. Dennis Perez.
Thank you very much, Misha, and good evening to everyone. On behalf of Immap and the Boomerang Awards Committee, I would like to present to you Boomerang Awards 2021, called Unmute. Yes, we were on mute last year because of the pandemic, but the good news is that Boomerang Awards is back, louder and bolder. For those who are not familiar with Boomerang Awards started in 2008 and has been known as the Philippines' premier award show when it comes to digital marketing excellence. And on our return, we have a lot of news to share. And one of those is the introduction of the tech innovation categories. This will allow more award-winning entries to be accommodated in Boomerang Awards coming from different verticals, different facets of digital marketing. Whether big corporations or also startups. So very, very excited to get those and read all of those entries. So what's the noise about Boomerang Awards? Well, Boomerang Awards is a celebration of innovation, of creativity, and effectiveness. And all of these 3 are basically linked. Just to show to you like how it flows, of course, everything in digital marketing starts with a strategy, a job to be done. And when we are implementing, this is where being innovative and being creative actually pay off. Because just like the boomerang, if you get the strategy right, if you are being innovative, if you are being creative, then business results will definitely come back, just like a boomerang. And that is what we call effectiveness. So all of these 4 elements will be judged by our very esteemed jury when it comes to determining who will actually win this year's Boomerang Awards. And I mentioned jury. We will be announcing the jury soon. But just like the previous years, we do have a lot of world-class digital marketeers from agency side, from client side, from tech side, who will be joining us and who will be reviewing all of the works that will be submitted this year in Boomerang. So I already mentioned, the introduction of the tech innovation categories. So you would see all of the categories here on the left side of the screen. Before, Boomerang Awards just celebrates campaign effectiveness, but we realized that we will be more inclusive by adding this tech innovation categories, because digital is basically touching, all of businesses as of the moment, whether you're just like looking into a specific vertical in digital like e-commerce or social, or you are basically an advertiser or brand looking at the full campaign effectiveness. And on top of those two categories, we do have some special Boomerang Awards that we will be distributing. The first of which is the Purple Boomerang Awards. This is presented by Investing in Women. And this is, a boomerang that will be given to a campaign that celebrates, gender equality when it comes to depiction in digital campaigns. So, and then the big news when it comes to the Purple Boomerang is that entry fee is waived for this category. So, please feel free to share your award-winning entries in campaigns. So at least we can review that, and who knows, you may receive the first ever Purple Boomerang Award this year. Another special Boomerang Award that we're distributing this year is the Blue Impact Boomerang, presented by Facebook. And this one celebrates, creativity in digital that is basically designed or developed as people first. Of course, we will be looking into how Facebook was used in the campaign in order to address the business objective, the job to be done. And of course, we will be assessing that on how technology was used and also how creativity was deployed. So the dates to remember for Boomerang Awards, we are now open for entries. We have received a lot as of the moment, but the final deadline for entries will be on August 13, 2021. So you still have time to basically write your entries and submit all of those through our website, and hope to actually see most of you submitting. And of course, the award show will be on the last day of DIGICON on October 15, 2021. So we will be broadcasting this live from our studio. So, and hope you can also join us there and celebrate the best of Philippine digital marketing. Back to you, Misha.
Thank you, Dennis. All right, everybody, you heard that. The deadline for submission is August 13. As an on again, off again, on again digital creative myself, it's good to know that the booms are finally back, and I cannot wait to see which brands will be competing for the Blue Impact and Purple Boomerang Awards. May the best campaigns win. And speaking of the best, with every conference, you do expect to hear from the cream of the crop. And DIGICON POP 2021 is no different, as we'll be bringing in speakers from all over the world to share their wisdom and experience in this age of digital transformation. To introduce this year's keynote speakers, please send a virtual round of applause for Immap board member and the head of Marlboro and Digital Activations, PMFTC Inc., Ms. Kring Lau. Good evening, Kring.
Thank you, Misha, for the introduction. 5 days, 6 keynote speakers, and over 50 subject matter experts covering all 4 tracks of this year's DIGICON POP. I'm sure all of you are as excited as we are to know who our keynote speakers are for this year. Our first keynote speaker is not just a thinker, but he is a rethinker. He has been Wharton School's top-rated professor for over 7 straight years. His TED Talks have been watched more than 25 million times. You may have encountered him through books, for he is the #1 New York Times best-selling author of Give and Take, Originals, Option B, Power Books, and Think Again, The Power of Knowing What You Don't Know, which was released recently. We are proud to announce keynote speaker, Mr. Adam Grant. We will also be hearing from one of the wisest and wittiest men in advertising today. His official title is Vice Chair of Ogilvy UK, but his life work is about understanding human behavior. He shares these insights through regular columns for Spectator, Market Leader and Impact, and Wired. He has also written 2 books, The Wikiman and Alchemy, The Surprising Power of Ideas Which Don't Make Sense. With his signature blend of creative thinking and behavioral science knowledge, he offers original and unconventional ways to solve business problems. Our second keynote speaker is Mr. Rory Sutherland. For our third keynote speaker, we will hear from one of the most in-demand in the digital arena today. He is known for his fearless takes in tech, which he publishes on his podcast, Prof G, and Pivot with Carla Schwischer, his blog, No Mercy, No Malice, and his Prof G YouTube channel, which reaches millions. He is a professor of marketing at NYU Stern School of Business and named one of the top 50 business professionals in the world. He is also the best-selling author of The Four and 2020's Post-Corona. As if those were not enough, he is also a serial entrepreneur, having founded 9 companies, including Profit, Red Envelope, and L2. He is none other than Scott Galloway. Day 4 of DIGICON POP features a powerhouse fireside chat with 2 chief marketing officers joining us. One from the largest advertising holding company in the world, and the other from one of the largest technology companies globally. Laurent Ezekiel is the first chief marketing officer and growth officer for WPP, based in London and New York. Under WPP are award-winning agencies such as Group M, Ogilvy, Wunderman Thompson, Gray, and more. Before joining WPP, Laurent held the role of President of Digitas North America and International and President and Global Client Leader for GSK. He has been recognized as part of the Ad 50 and the Campaign A-list alongside industry leaders. To speak with him, we have Jill Zhou, Chief Marketing Officer of IBM Asia Pacific and China, leading brand and marketing teams across 17 countries. She is a change maker, leading the IBM in this era of digital transformation in finance, telecommunications, manufacturing, retail, and other industries. She oversees an $8 billion business in the region. She was also appointed to the exclusive board of directors of FE Worldwide, the only representative from China in the organization. Grant, Sutherland, Galloway, Ezekiel, and Zoe. Our list of keynote speakers does not end here. We are excited to announce that we will have one of the biggest social media personalities in the world, and he happens to be a Filipino. His numbers show over 17 million followers on Instagram, 11.9 million on TikTok, and 8.6 million on YouTube. He has built a community around beauty and makeup, but has grown to be an advocate of diversity and representation for queers and Asians alike in the media. This year, he added another milestone when he starred in his own MTV reality show. We are all excited to announce our baddest keynote speaker yet, Bretman Rock. These are just some of the world-class industry icons that you will see in this year's DIGICON POP. We look forward to seeing all of you from October 11 to 15. Thank you very much. Back to you, Misha.
Thank you, Kring. Now that is definitely an impressive lineup. DigiPop is definitely looking to live up to the sky-high expectations from previous years, and it's going to be quite the experience to hear from these keynote speakers. Okay, now that all the pieces have been laid out, we'd like to hear from everyone who took the time to join us tonight. Hopefully, you've already submitted your questions. Don't forget to include your name and your organization so we know how to address you. Okay, while everyone's composing their questions, I'll go first and use my host powers to start things rolling. Anyone from the Immap team can answer this, so I'm gonna start. What sets DIGICON POP apart from all the ones that we've had in the previous years? Anyone can answer.
Hi, Misha. This is Lei. I'll take that. So
Okay.
I think what's really important for us to know is that the environment has really changed. And while we felt that step of change accelerate last year, for some reason, it's just kept on going. And that's truly the big difference when we say that digital has become the new mainstream. Whereas before, it felt like it was just something for working professionals or for people who had a little bit more money. But nowadays, that's no longer the case. Digital truly has penetrated even the grassroots, and DIGICON POP as a theme aims to recognize that and showcase how much more mainstream it's become.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, let's go on to our first question from the floor. All right, this one looks like this should go to Henry. Could you answer this question, sir? How did you decide on this year's lineup of speakers?
Sure. Hi, and thanks for that question. So, as Lei mentioned, the whole theme this year is around how digital is a lot more omnipresent and pervasive than in the past. And so we really wanted to have a lineup that cut across different verticals and different industries. So you're familiar with the DEEP framework that we just introduced, around disruption, expansion, emerging and potential. But it's also around cutting across different industries, right? Like you're going beyond, say, advertising or FMCG, which has always been at the forefront of digital. You're now talking about healthcare, education, even the public sector. And so it was very important for us to have this great mix. And it was tough to come up with this lineup. There were a lot of names that we weren't able to accommodate, but we're incredibly excited about the 90 or so speakers that we've gotten for you. So it's gonna be a great one.
We're looking forward to it. Okay, next question, please. How many speakers are there in total?
90.
Okay. Next question, please. Could you tell us who some of the local speakers would be?
Sure. I'll take this one and others can jump in. You've got folks like Bea Tienza, who cut her teeth in advertising, is now with Colgate-Palmolive. You've got Isabel Yap of East West Bank, who's been spearheading a lot of their digital efforts. You've got the creative team behind Treza, especially Bujet Tan, who was the co-creator. We'll have Patrick Gentry, who's the CEO of Sprout, which is a really interesting HR startup. You'll get folks from Kumu, which is the rising star in the ecosystem. We've got some pretty good local speakers.
If I may add as well, there will be a panel as well. We will be joined by the management and the leaders of ABS-CBN to discuss like how they're pivoting, how they define broadcasting now. So there are a lot of other panels that we're forming that really caters into the latest trends and what is happening in the space of digital. So we will be releasing the whole schedule, the whole 5-day schedule soon, way ahead than before. So that will also allow all of our attendees to really plan how they're going to navigate those 5 days pack of full learning.
Yeah, and let us not forget about Bretman Rock.
Yes.
He's technically a local. He's one of the biggest keynote
Filipino, by
speakers
the
that
way.
we're having this year, and he's actually Filipino.
World-class Filipino, no? So
Yeah,
World-class
this was the first
Filipino.
time. I mean, I've been doing DIGICON for a long time. This is the first time I've had anyone with fishnet on a picture, profile picture, and I, for one, am totally behind fishnet.
The first and hopefully not the last.
Yes,
Yeah.
DIGICON is
Great.
very, very inclusive. So that's something that we're proud of. And of course, like Bretman being a Filipino and being part of the LGBT community, that's something to look forward to. And yeah, but I mean, we will be surprised for sure. One of the conditions is that we will never censor what Bretman will actually say. He will come there as who he is, and let's see like how this will actually fit the program.
And dagdag ko lang, Dennis, regarding sa mga students. So, swerte nila yung kanina na hindi ko binanggit. Ayun,
Wow.
may opportunity na mapanood ng mga students si Bretman dun sa D-Pop Youth. So,
Yes.
hopefully you can i-convey nyo rin yung message na to sa mga estudyante. So, ito na yung chance.
So Bretman will be the keynote for both the main DIGICON and also D-Pop Youth.
Yep.
Because I'm sure a lot of people, especially the young ones, would like to learn like how to be a creator, ano nga ba yung kailangan kong gawin.
Career na yun. Career na rin talaga yun eh. So, that would be really different right now, no? I mean, marami na talagang pwedeng puntahan sa digital industry.
Fantastic. Okay, thank you guys. Next question, please. Oh, okay. This one again is for anybody. How long will the daily sessions be?
Hi, this is Lei. So normally we try and keep it to 3 hours max because people do get tired and you do want to be able to process what you're learning, right? And I think we got great feedback from the kind of timing we did last year because people actually told us they were able to finish up work in the morning and then at least medyo their brains were already prepared to sit down again and learn. So I guess it's a great thing to keep it in really quick bursts. A lot of companies also send multiple registrants or delegates. And if you're thinking of sending delegates, it's also nice for them to go to and attend different talks and then talk about where they went after. It also encourages learning together as an organization.
Yeah, we're also very conscious about creating an experience designed for online. It's very different when we were all together in PICC. When you were there physically, you want to get the most out of the day because ang traffic po punta sa CC.
Yeah.
I know, di ba? Dapat sulit kasi ang haba ng din ride.
Yeah, and then there's a bar as well. You can actually drink after. So it's very different. But when we realized that, we're now doing DIGICON, it started last year, we realized that when it comes to online, we cannot do the same. So that's why for 3 days full pack, we made it spread out 5 days, but shorter sessions, because I'm sure a lot of people have been into back-to-back Zoom meetings. You don't want to actually extend that with another screen moments with different speakers, and extend that throughout the night. So we designed it quite well, and we made it very, very, palatable for people to consume. And also, again, we will be releasing the schedule, but just an advance heads up. The starting day times will also be different per day. We are also adjusting to some of our speakers. So I think there are some days that will be in the morning. There are some days that will be in the afternoon. And that's the reason why we're releasing the schedule ahead of time so people can plan ahead.
Tapos good news din, no, dagdag ko lang na dahil nga gusto natin maganda yung experience, even the platform. We created the platform versus last year kasi nag-ano lang tayo ng default lang na platform na ginagamit. But now, ganun kalupit tong team na to. Ano bang tawag doon, Dennis? Sa ginawa yung project na to?
I think I need to mention, thank you so much to our partners in Quiddity. They built a platform, a conference platform from scratch for DIGICON.
Yes.
And that's basically I designed together with Immap. What do you mean? We're a digital organization. We need to basically make sure that we also parang act on what we preach in DIGICON.
Yes.
And therefore UX, CX on the design of the platform, we really thought about that. Of course, last year we just need to take something because we were really ready to go to PICC and then the lockdown happened and therefore we need to pivot and therefore there's no time. But now that we know that parang okay, online na tayo, we started when DIGICON last year ended and really designed a platform from scratch. So expect the experience will be
better. Better than last year, no, Dennis? Parang nag-create kami ng PICC natin.
Last year was test and learn for us, diba? Parang we were all talking about like what we're gonna do. It's the first time we're gonna do a DIGICON that's online. So lahat practice talaga siya. So I think we are trying to address if not all, but most of the feedback coming from last year's experience. So we're hoping that everybody who gets to enjoy DIGICON this year will feel the difference. Yeah.
Yep.
So platform pa lang, even the speakers,
Yep.
even the way we do our tracks and our scheduling, talagang we made it different this year,
Even
coming
the-
from what we learned last year, diba?
Yeah, sorry, but even the way that we will be broadcasting. So again, I just want to thank our friends from Eventscape as well. We will now be doing a hybrid broadcasting. Of course, some of the speakers will be at home, especially our international guests. But we will also broadcast from a studio
Nice.
for this DIGICON. So it will be a very, very good show for sure.
Yeah, and I think if I can butt in, it's really think of it as, it's Manila based, but this is really a world-class conference. And that's also why we've been playing around with the schedule, because you will have speakers from abroad, but actually even members in the audience will be coming from abroad, because the lineup is so interesting, the topics are so relevant that, when you come to this conference, you're not just going to be around all your peers in the industry in the Philippines, but you'll be, side to side virtually, of course, with folks out of Singapore, out of, Japan, Australia, the US, Europe, who are all hoping to learn from our speakers and from each other. So this is really a world-class conference. And we're very excited about what people can look forward to.
And we are all looking forward to experiencing it, seeing as the PICC is not in our near future. This seems to be a great way to go about it. Thank you so much, guys. Now we have another question. Is DIGICON 2021 still open for sponsorships? Now, who would like to take that
Yes.
one?
Please and means queen.
Taking that question.
Yes. Yeah, we're open. There's limited slots for sponsors, just for everybody to know. In case you're interested, please book with us early. So we already have confirmed sponsors as early as now. Of course, have you seen it's Manulife and McDonald's, and we have a lot of other sponsors already in the pipeline. And there are limited slots because we also want to make sure that our sponsors will get the exposure that they deserve. Kumbaga, it's not like booking everybody in. So let us know if you're interested, or if you know somebody, or if you know of some companies who would be interested to sponsor this year's DIGICON. Yeah, you can get in touch with us.
And we are also open for media partners as well. Who would like
Yes.
help us also, sort of give highlights and summarize what's happening in DIGICON. So please feel free to reach out if you want to be a sponsor or a media partner.
90 plus speakers, guys.
Bretman Rock. Ganun na lang yun.
And more. Yeah.
Ayan, pumila na sila. Okay, let's
Pumila
go
na
on to the next question. Okay, this one is from Denise Hack of Quiddity, Misha Lecaros. Oh, okay, thank you. Thank you, Denise. That is not a question, but we'll take it
May
anyway.
fan ka, Misha. You have a fan.
Denise is the one who created our platform and her so much.
Okay, thank you so much. Next up is Miss Yvette Fernandez from Esquire. Your question is, was it easier to invite these stellar speakers now that they don't have to travel?
Yes, for sure. Last year and even this year, I think so many of the speakers were also concerned about safety, but at the same time, I think people already got used to it, meaning
Yeah.
because last year it was more like, now what do we do, right? Because us as a whole, we work with our partner is future proof for these things. And when we work with them, it's always like, okay, so who's available? We have a running wish list. Just so you guys know, I'm letting you in on a little secret, like behind the scenes. But
Yeah.
the people working on DIGICON have a running wish list. And
It's a bucket list, Lay. A bucket list.
it's a bucket list of who do we think is an amazing world-class speaker that we want to bring to a Filipino digital audience. And so far, I think we've been quite lucky, but also it's because we're really focused on that level of quality. And so it has become a little easier. I wouldn't say a lot easier, because I think even our speakers are human and they're also going through all of the changes that we're all going through, right?
And
Maybe it's
expensive.
because it's their level. At their level, I think we're all human. So I think what's gotten easier though is because Digicon has already built up a reputation as well. And we have been fairly consistent in delivering great keynote speakers to our Philippine audience, and even speaker agencies around the world already recognize the name of our event. So it's actually not difficult to approach these agencies.
Yeah, we have reached a point where towards the conference we need to basically choose who will actually
Yeah.
be the lineup because the slots are not enough. And even the speakers themselves and their agents are the one reaching out. So it's good because I think we have Digicon has already created the equity after what five runs already, because we've been doing consistent parang experience that is basically world class for these speakers to attend to. So I think we've reached that point, and we're very very happy and humbled as well. So thank you for everyone to everyone who supported Digicon from the start.
Additional lang, thanks to Future Proof din, no? Our team rin
Oh, yes.
na natutulong sa atin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Future Proof is the one who's basically looking for the speakers and also like creating the program for us. So thank you so much to the Future Proof team. Yeah.
Okay. Next question. This one is from Charmaine Arguibela from the Philippine Graphic Magazine. Can you tell us what to expect in the upcoming DIGICON Pop?
What to expect? Do you mean in terms of like what would be different? We're premiering a brand new experience platform. So that's already one. We have a great speaker lineup that Crane talked about earlier, and we have a great program framework that allows you to choose how you want to learn and gives order to the tracks. So I think this is going to be not only that. I wouldn't want to forget, but we really do want to end DIGICON Pop 2021 with a bang. So that's why the Boomerang Awards are also there to end it. And this is the first time we're doing the Boomerang Awards online. We actually went on mute, as Dennis and Herbert mentioned last year. So this is the year the Boomerang Awards are unmuting. So yeah, I think what you'll be seeing is how we've taken this. Come on, we're going into to be realistic about it. We all have. I'm talking to my friends and saying I have pre-ECQ brain today, and I don't think any one of us was spared from that. We are human. We all have our share of issues and things that we have to work through, but we also need to focus on what's good and what can get us through. And I think looking at the DIGICON Pop program actually makes me look forward to learning even more and knowing that we are all still investing in reskilling, upskilling, and learning more because we do have a future to look forward to. Darn it. Okay, bye.
Thank you so
Bye.
much, Lay.
And by the way, it's not just Boomerang that's coming back. It's also Digicon Youth.
Yes,
Which we do have one room in PICC where all of the students are there. It adds different dynamic and energy to the conference. We skipped that last year and now it's back as well.
Thank you, Dennis.
It was graphical. We were all inspired by the background of Denise's Zoom.
Okay. Our next question is from Jane or Matiao from BlogWatch. Will sessions be kept online after the event in case those who miss certain sessions because of conflict in schedule can watch the replay? And if so, for how long? Now that is a good question.
Not all.
Yeah. So let me start and maybe Kring can add. No? So definitely there will be a period where you can watch some of the sessions or maybe even all, but that will be a very very limited time because we do have contractual obligations with our speakers. And because of that, that limits our ability to keep it up for a long time. So we cannot guarantee And therefore, we really suggest that you join the live sessions. Now, if there will be some talks that will be left online, those are basically the talks that the speaker allowed us to keep online. So, and right now we don't have a complete list of which one will actually be left there or which one we need to take. We cannot leave after the live session because of some contracts. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add to what Dennis said, we're actually encouraging you to go to the live session. That's why we're going to release the schedule as early as possible so that you can actually block it off. Because when you do the live session, you have actually the chance to interact with your speakers. You ask them questions, and it's your opportunity actually to have them like speak to you face to face. Diba? Parang that's the difference when you go to a plenary. Eh. In the plenary, you sit behind the stage, so medyo malayo. Pero ito talagang in front of you na sila. So we really encourage you to block off your schedule once we release it, and then make sure that you're there and be ready with your questions. So minsan ang ginagawa namin, like last year, Dennis, I remember you read the whole Seth Godin book in preparation just to moderate Seth Godin. I was like listening, grab it, Dennis read the entire thing. So parang, di ba,
That was a good
parang
session.
Encourage that.
Not just a book. I read 3 books.
I know, right?
For Seth Godin.
We were all competing like who got Seth Godin's book. We are all preparing for that. We encourage we're gonna like have some tie-ups also with some bookstores na para they can actually buy. Kunwari, si Adam Grant, diba? A lot of our keynote speakers have books. So we highly encourage you to actually read through the books para when you go to DIGICON, this is your chance for a meet and greet. Para siyang ganun eh. So you can ask them questions of what they wrote, or if there's something you don't agree with, pwede nyo silang tanungin. Yan. So we encourage you to go live.
Okay. We have only 2 questions left, so let's go on to the next one. This one is from Cap Aguila of Business World. The question is, while the speaker lineup is already impressive, can we expect a surprise? Maybe someone whose confirmation you're still waiting on?
Secret. Secret. Surprise nga, guys eh. Secret.
Surprise? I don't think they can answer that. I'm sorry, Cap.
Magaling umamoy si Cap, actually. So, pero siya,
Pero ang galing ng question niya. Henry,
Oh.
you're seeing?
If you buy a ticket, we'll tell you.
Mas maganda yung sagot ni Henry.
Pero
Pero
guys, go.
Hindi,
Sa 90 plus na speakers,
Oo.
I'm sure hindi lang kasya ngayon yung sasabihin namin. But definitely,
Oo.
maraming nakakatuwa pa doon.
I think naman DIGICON is always known for surprises. If you remember in PICC, we deliberately actually plan some pocket performances. Barbie Almalis was there, Evidence performed, and they perform in weird corners of unexpected corners of PICC. So we're known for throwing those surprises. So yeah, that's all I can say.
Yeah, but for our friends in media who's here with us tonight, this is the first time we actually unveiled Bretman Rock. So if you've seen ads of DIGICON, you've heard about Adam Grant, you've heard about our other speakers, keynote speakers, and Rory Sutherland. They were announced early. Si Bretman Rock, fresh ang contract, ha? As in, until last night, it was signed, and okay, we can now announce Bretman Rock. And even the photo, the photo is very
It's my
fresh.
favorite
Kakapasok
photo.
lang nun.
All time.
Pressure yun.
Lakihan nyo
Dave,
guys.
pressure.
Lakihan nyo. Ang ganda ng photo ni Bretman, guys. High res.
That came from
Ang
him.
ganda.
That came from him. Yeah. So fresh na fresh. Kayo yung may first dibs kay Bretman Rock tonight.
You heard it here first. Okay,
Yeah.
next up is our last question. And it is from Yvette Fernandez of Esquire once again.
Talagang
And
gagaling
I
ng mga
guess,
tanong.
who wants to take this one? Who is on your bucket list?
May kanya-kanya kami.
So, oh my God! So one eternal person on our bucket list is Brene Brown.
Yeah.
And we have been asked. We asked for years.
Yearly.
We never forget. I mean, we're not giving up. So for those of you who are aware of Brene Brown, she is an amazing author, and her take on vulnerability in leadership is something that has always fascinated me. And she consults with so many organizations around leadership thoughts and how to lead in a different way. And so Brene is yun. She's like permanently on our bucket list.
As well is always on our list, but it's always like an availability, parang concern, and we cannot just like marry the schedules because some of the speakers are also limiting their speaking engagement. But maybe marami kaming nasa list but maybe just trivia lang siguro, but also that shows our seriousness of making DIGICON really big. We never drop a person on the list just because it's too big or it's too ambitious. We even inquired before, if I may share, we attempted to actually bring Michelle Obama, for example.
Yes.
And we actually had a conversation. And the requirement is a private plane. So, for
Yun lang
safety,
pala eh.
of course, we
Is that
understand
all?
that, right? So yeah, but I mean, the ex-first lady. So wow, okay. So even if we want to bring her, like, who has a private plane that we can borrow. So, but we never really stop,
Yes.
dreaming when it comes to bringing speakers to DIGICON. So that's
Dennis,
how-
may platform na
I
tayo.
remember when we brought in Bozoma St. John, and
Yeah.
we were totally reaching, and we were shocked when she agreed. And it was just an amazing experience, and that made us realize that we needed speakers like her. We needed world-class speakers for an audience that deserves world-class speakers, and that would be the Filipino audience.
So may
And so-
platform. Ay, sorry. Go.
Go
Go,
ahead.
go.
It's always been our ambition. Go, Herbert.
May platform na tayo, 'di ba? Ginawa namin 'yan for you guys. Malay nyo soon eroplano, 'di ba? So magkaroon namin ng eroplano. Immap airplane na pwedeng sumunod kay Michelle.
Yeah. All right.
Oh my God. What about, diba? What about a spaceship? Kasi yan ang uso ngayon.
Oo.
Why not Elon Musk, right?
Digital
Musk.
billionaires
Yeah, Elon
in
Musk.
space.
Or Jeff Bezos, he's retired now, so he can do stocks now. Wala na siyang ginagawa, Lay.
From space.
From space.
Okay, I would love to hear your plans for the Immap spaceship, but I think we're running out of time. Thank you so much, guys, for answering questions from the floor. That was an interesting discussion. And on behalf of Immap, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for giving us your time. And I'd like to do a big thank you also to everyone who is watching at this time. We hope that this year's DIGICON piques your excitement, and we look forward to hearing from everyone again soon. For more information about DIGICON POP 2021, please visit our official website at digicon.com.ph, where you can check out a breakdown of the various tracks, more details about our speakers, and how to avail of ticket prices. The early bird sale is still on, and you can get up to 55% off, but this is limited. Now, before we wrap, we'd like to give a special shout out to our gold sponsors, Manulife Philippines and McDonald's. Thank you so much, guys. And thank you to our speakers for today, Lay, Dennis, Henry, Kring, Herbert. Thank you, everybody. We hope to see you all at DIGICON POP from October 11th to the 15th, 2021. I've been your host, Misha Lecaros. Thank you and enjoy the rest of the evening. Good night,
Bye,
everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye,
Good
everyone.
night.
Thank
See you at the
you.
DIGICON.
Stay safe. Bye, everyone.
Good night.